Hello guys from RC Tanks Model Mania. Okay guys, today I want to show you about how I weathered the Sherman tank. I didn't use a lot of paint. I just did little dabs here with some rust paints, some olive drab, khaki. Khaki on olive drab is absolutely great. It really ages it. It kind of like sun bleaches, so it's pretty good. And I'll also show you some sort of like makeup that I used on it as well, weathering makeup. Now I'll show you around here what I used. Okay, there's not a lot of things, and panel line as well. These things here, what I used is a brown and the panel line dark brown. They're good. When you go along in the little gaps and that, you just dab it in and it just sort of like, it floods into the areas where there's little like creases and all that, you know. And yeah, this the rust one, orange rust, that is pretty good as well. Don't overdo your tanks with rust. Okay, this is like the makeup, the ladies' makeup sort of thing. It's the weathering one. It's the weathering master. And what I've got on here, I've got the rust, soot, and the snow. Okay, and what you do, you just get your little like cotton wool bud, or your little sort of like sponge buds. You dip it in there, and then you just you go all over the tank. Okay, so what I've did, I'll show you on this side. Okay, and your sponge for the mud effect and rust effect as well. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll bring the camera around this way and show you what I've done there, and then I'll show you what I've done on how to make buckets and like the backpacks and the roll-up things like tarpaulins and all that. So I'll show you that as well, guys. Okay, from this angle of the Sherman tank, you can see the weathering that I've done there. Now, the good thing about the Sherman tank from Hang Long is it's already darkened on the corners with black. So it comes like that, okay? So it saves a lot of mucking about. What I've done, I've just gone over a little bit with the soot, the one in the middle there. And then you see the snow there as well? Well, what I've done, I've put like streaks coming down, okay? On the black first. I went over that. And the good thing is, right, a lot of people put their transfers on after the weathering. Well, I did mine the other way around. I put the transfers on first, and it kind of gives you like that sort of effect, like real. I mean, you know, the tanks that win the battles, they had transfers on first, then they went into battle, and then you got all the weathering all over the tank. So I put mine on first and then do the weathering, and it stains it all. Makes it look pretty good. So yeah, transfers on first, weather after. So as I say, I went over a little bit on the edges again with the black, smudged it in, okay, and then I did the whites. I smudged it in with this. Just I'll just kind of show you actually, if I can. I'll just open this up. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll get a bit of soot. So you just dab it in there like that. And then you kind of go down the sides like this, so you can see where it's gone on there, okay? It's a little bit darker there. There, okay? And then what I'll do, I get a little bit of the snow, a little bit of white. Just a tiny bit, okay? Then I kind of go over that there. And you think, oh, that doesn't look good at all. But, you know, you just keep working on it, you know? Keep working on it, because it's dripping down, so you go down like that, okay? There you go. Just a little bit more there. And the more you work on it, the better it's going to look, okay? The more streaks, it's going to look quite nice, you know? But I haven't finished like doing that. What you do, you get some white paint. You put it, a little tiny little dollop of white paint in a little dish with loads of water, okay? And then you mix it around, you put your paintbrush in there, and then what you do, you put your paintbrush in the paint, take it out, dab it in a little bit of paper, and then you paint it on, and then you paint it over the bits that you've done there, you know? You streak it down, and because obviously the watered down paint, the white paint, it won't show when you're doing it because it's wet, but when it dries, it will give this sort of effect as well. You can see where it's just slightly dripping down, and on the side there, just see it. So obviously when it's rained and then it's sort of like the dust on there and it's dripped down afterwards, you see. So, and then obviously if they're climbing up on the tanks, some of the drip marks is going to be like a little bit smeared that way, smeared that way. So yeah, it's looking all right. So there you go, that's what I use the most on the tank. The good thing about it, if you don't like it, you can just rub it off afterwards. Okay, it's not like paint. Once you paint it on there, it's stuck, it's gone. If I put my finger and rub it along like that, it's going to come off on my finger. Some of it will stay. And then you got this for the panels, you know, you drip it into like, there, you see where it's darkened a bit there? I left it a little bit there as well, so. And then the rust, there you go. Rust orange. I just put a little dab in there, that's it. Little bits here. You don't want to cake the tank in rust. A little bit at the bottom there, like the water's come down and stayed down there, you know. And that's it. You don't want to make the tank like it's 75 years after the Second World War. So you don't want a lot on there, you know. See the rain marks coming down again. And that there looks like it's just been worn out a bit, you know. On the corners, a little bit of rust there where obviously it's run all the way along here and it's come down to the edge here. That could be a little bit too much actually there. I can actually just go over and get rid of it. And what I've done, I've added a little clip there for a bucket. There you go. Now this bucket, I made it. I didn't buy it online. Online you're paying like $12 for a bucket. Well, that there, all it is a paper clip, which I'll show you. Now let's pick up this paper clip. That's a paper clip, okay? I just bent it round, and then I made two little holes in the side of the bucket, bent it round. There you go, if it'll focus. There you go. And that's your bucket made, okay? There you go, there's like a, that's what it was before. Made two little holes in the top there, put the paper clip in there, and there you go. Now, how to make these? Now, I wanted like that sort of effect on the outside where it's all like sort of dotty there. That's quite nice. And I had my American helmet Second World War cotton, so I wrapped it both sides. That was for my helmet straps for Second World War. And then what I did, just rolled it up. And the good thing about it, you can actually shape this to what you want. You can have it bent and it'll stay there. And if you don't, what you do, you wet it. So you can actually mold it around your stuff on the tank. And I've done it with this one as well. And see, it's slightly bent. And when it's wet, this stuff, okay, it's easy to work with. And I paint it and then just squash it to what I want it to be like. Then it's happy days. Now what I use is the good old chamois, what you clean the cars with. Okay, now if you can get a proper leather one, it's even better. This is not actual leather, so I do have a leather one, but I didn't want to use it. So, and you can use the other side. You see the other side, it hasn't got that pattern mark, which I preferred the pattern mark actually. So you can use that side for the cloth. And because at the moment, it's really like, sort of like, you know, it's hard and solid. But as soon as you wet this sort of material, it can go into any shape you want. So if you want a tie pole and then you wanted to fold it up all square, so you fold it up square, wet it, okay? You can paint it first if you want and then do it, as long as the paint doesn't come off. But I tend to fold it all up first and then paint it. Why it's wet, so it all sinks in, and then I just leave it. So it's all pressed together really well. You can either tie it up with cotton, wrap it around loads of times for cotton so it looks like rope. And yeah, you can mold it to any shape on the tank, but I wouldn't put it on the tank wet because it might go through the grills there. You see the grill there? If the wet goes through there, it will go onto your electrics inside. So the best thing is actually mold it to, if you're going to glue all this together and use it as one instead of keep picking like one bit's off like that. You can actually make like a template and put it on, and then you just put the whole lot on the tank, and then when you want to take off, you just take the whole lot off at one go. Okay, now I didn't glue this, so this thing can all come off as well. So it's if you want it all on there, so it's happy days. Now also about these bags that I was telling you about the other day. See the straps there? Can I focus? Yeah. They look like straps, eh? I painted the same colour. And you see on the back of the bag there, it's got this chamois. There you go. I used the the lumpy side as well, just to give it a bit of texture. So I just glued it in the back there. You do it better than that if you wanted to, just right up to the corners. I think I've done right up to the corners on this one. And yeah, use the chamois for the straps, if it's not focusing properly. And then I put US on the bags as well, but faded. I didn't want to put them in sort of like US, so it stands out too much. So there you go, guys. That's how I did the blankets. So you can still see yellow there. I can still paint it a bit actually, but I think that looks quite nice, that actually. Just gives it a bit of colour there, and then you got your olive drab one there. And there you go. There's your buckets. Paper clip. Just cut that into shape, bend it around, put it on a bit of plastic, and I think it looks alright. That bit of shine as well. Painted it grey. Then I made this this little clip on the back here from the parts of this. You know, you got like the little green things that sticks to it. So I just cut it off, and I sort of like used the lighter, flatten that bit against the wall, and then I glued it on here. So it's all happy days. So it's looking all right. And obviously these things here, I'll show you these. Now these here are from Lego. Okay, now if I turn it around the other way, there you go. I use my son's Lego carton boxes. Just give it a bit of a paint. They open as well. And then I put the little straps on the side. There you go. So I got quite a few of them. How many have I got there? About 3. And then I use some other things as well. Just to Playmobil's normally pretty good for those sort of things as well. My son got them, and he's got the Pirates one. So I take a couple of them and paint them and put them on here. Now you see this wood here. Now that is actually wood, okay? So what I did, I got 2 chopsticks, wooden chopsticks. Cut them in half, obviously the thick ends. Put one going one way, one the other way, so it's even. And then I used my helmet straps, the Second World War straps, but they were really old and falling apart. And then I used them as straps, and I strapped them together. I put them on there, and it's stuck down with that that sort of tape that they give you to stick down. I don't want to glue them on. All this is stuck down so it will move around. It's not glued on. It's with that sort of sticky stuff they give you. So there you go, guys. And the good thing about these bags as well, you can actually mold how the way they fall down. See, look, they're kind of natural. It doesn't like stick out or anything, you know. It's like just falls down quite naturally, and it looks natural. And you can bend the straps around the way you want them. If you leave them on the side here, you can have the strap draping over the side. So there you go, guys. And yeah, as I say, with this tank, if you do have this tank, you can see there where I painted the olive drab. No, sorry, not the olive drab, the khaki, which is that one there, okay, guys, khaki. Khaki on olive drab is lovely. It gives it that sort of worn out, bleached effect. So you can see it there as I turn the tank around, and you can see at the front there as well, a little bit there I dabbed. Not too much. You just put them in the places where you think, you know, where they climb up the sides, and they, you know, climb up in and wear out the paint a little bit. See, it's got that sort of like a lightish green to it. And yeah, it goes well. So there you go, guys. I hope you like my little video. And yeah, this is what I dabbed the old mud, mud effect on the sides. Or you can do rust as well. But as I say, I don't like to cake my tank in rust. I like to make it look like it's just come off the beach of Normandy, and it's been going for a couple of weeks in Normandy, not 75 years in Normandy. So there you go, guys. I think the next videos that I might show you is the battery upgrades that I got, and see if they work well and see how long they work well. So yeah, I'll show you guys. So thank you very much for watching the video. Take care. Remember, subscribe, share and like. Show your friends and share. And if I don't put another video on before Christmas, have a good Christmas, guys. And let's hope you get loads of tank presents for Christmas. Catch you guys later. Bye bye.